What's up, my pretties? It's your mistress, the Queen of Lions here, and today we are back with another episode of Shadows and Pretties. Now, in my last episode, I did talk about Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers. Well, meets the Boo Brothers, and I actually did mention this movie in it, so with that being said, I am going to be doing another one. So, the movie today we are going to be talking about is Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School. Now, yet again, it's been made by Hanna-Barbera, the same people who made, Scooby-Doo, Yogi Bear, and other cartoons. This movie, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, came out in 1988. Holy crap. It was like over 30 years ago. My goodness. I remember when I was a young kid, I used to love this movie. Like, I used to love this movie as well. There were some other Scooby-Doo movies I liked, but I think this one tops being one of the best ones. So, with that being said, I think we should go ahead and, me explaining what Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School is like. Now, for those who have not seen Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School, I highly recommend you check out this movie as it's a really cool movie. You will not be disappointed, and everything about it was just flat out amazing. So, with that being due, I guess we could just talk about this. So, all right, without any further ado, I think we should, talk about the movie. Now, of course, this is basically about Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy Doo are on their way to Miss Grimwood's finishing school for girls, where they have been hired as gym teachers. So, basically, they ended up finding out that, no, that, all when they got there, it was actually for girl ghouls, like all the girls are ghouls, like there is daughter of Dracula, there's daughter of Frankenstein monster, the daughter of the Wolfman, there's called the daughter of the Phantom, and then there's the daughter of the Mummy. So basically, all these are kind of basically the real monsters, and they end up having daughters, like Sibella being the daughter of Count Dracula, Elsa Frankenstein as the daughter of Frankenstein. We need the daughter of the werewolf and the phantasma, or Fancy for short, daughter of the Phantom, and Tanis is the daughter of the Mummy. So that's basically what Scooby and Shaggy and Scrappy Doo ended up coming into a school for ghouls, and they actually see all this. So, without any further ado, I'm just gonna say right now that this one recently turned 32 years old on October 16th. I should have done a podcast episode on it, but I didn't think about it. But here I am going to review it because why not? So at least it's going to be something you guys will enjoy. Alright, so for those who have grown up maybe in the 90s, probably have remembered, seeing this movie on TV. On TV, they aired this on TV for a lot of the kids, so then the kids have a chance to see this. So if you're a diehard Scooby Doo fan, this is the great movie for you. And I really liked it how whole this, based on, there's daughters of, the famous monsters from, back when, they made these kind of monsters back in the 30s. I'm really glad that they did decide to do that. I guess they decided to do something a little different with Scooby-Doo. Something like this is not completely out of the ordinary for Scooby-Doo. I know a lot of Scooby-Doo movies have done a lot of weird things in the past, and they still do to this very day, so this is actually one of the other, moments that they have, done in the past. And, this is not completely out of the ordinary, as Scooby-Doo has done a lot of weird things in the past as well, and they're still, doing these kind of things to this day. So, without any further ado, I actually like the director's concept with the story. It's actually really good, and I do like the voice acting, especially with Casey Kasem, who did Shaggy, but it's sad that he died. And yet again, Shaggy was wearing his red shirt in this one again, and we get to see Scrappy Doo again. Now, I know I probably said in my last episode that there was a lot of controversy going on with the Scrappy Doo character, why no one really likes Scrappy. So that's just something else I want to point out, is that there was a bit of a controversy in that matter. Just thought I would, point out and let you guys know. Alright, without any further ado, I think we should begin. So, of course, as they're all parodies and tributes to the universal monsters of the 30s and 40s, that's actually why all the daughters are based on, or King's parodies or tributes, which is pretty nice, to be honest. I'm sure most of us probably have remembered seeing this. So, other residents of the school, there was like a floating white hand, and there was also an octopus who is the school's butler, Legs, who is the monster's, who is basically a spider who helps with the upcoming volleyball match. So, of course, Miss Grimwood, the head mistress, and her Dimith pet dragon matches. Frightened by this, Shaggy and Scooby were initially hesitant to do it, but they agreed to stay as their gym teachers. Like, at first they were scared, thinking, oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea. But they eventually warmed up to the ideas, like, you know what, this should be fine. So, the following morning, the morning begins with the class and doing with the new teachers taking ballet lessons. Gym class then soon starts, and the girls had to train for the upcoming volleyball match against the boys of the neighboring Callaway Military Academy. So the boys rigged the volleyball with the remote control out of control, but it was accidentally in a squirt of ketchup. The boys lose the remote when Scooby accidentally swallows the remote and allows the girls to win instead, which is pretty cool, to be honest. So I still think that that's kind of cheating because despite the fact that, the Callaway Cadets were, kind of like being, thinking, oh, we're going to win or something. And they go ahead and try to cheat in any ways to, make the girls angry. So just to be completely honest. Now, the villains in this, like Revolta and even, what's that, plant's name again? Oh, Grim Creeper. Those villains, I'm sure most of us got scared of them as a kid. Like, I actually found Revolta to be quite interesting. She didn't scare me at all when I was a young kid. But if you guys were scared of her, leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, because I would like to hear what your thoughts and opinions are on these characters. So, the girls' fathers eventually come to an open house on Halloween night as they leave due to various reasons, and they warn a fearful full warning to Shaggy and Scooby not to let any harm come to their daughters, or they'll be in big crap. So the power-hungry witch Revolta, who is a self-styled witch of the web, and her minion, which is the Grim Creeper, they plan to kidnap the girls and make them their slaves. So she starts hypnotizing Shaggy, who into taking the girls on the field trip to the Barren Bog. On that same day, the Callaway Cadets are at the bog. So with the help of Revolta's spider bats, Revolta and the Grim Creeper captures all the girls, and Revolta makes a potion that will turn evil forever at the strike of midnight. So Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy, and Matches, along with the Grey Callaway Cadets, have managed to save the girls' plans, and Revolta's plan is foiled. So when that was gonna go on for a while, what basically Shaggy and Scooby Doo ended up having to do was, after the girls were kidnapped, they had to go to Revolta's castle. So along the way, they ended up seeing like a mirror monster version of Shaggy, which I did read a creepypasta on that about. Oh yeah, it was the one the Dark Cat wrote. I think it was about a few months ago. I did read Mirror Monster Shaggy, which was a pretty good pasta, to be completely honest. I really actually enjoyed that one. That one was actually a pretty good pasta. But if you guys want to narrate it, if you guys want to check out that video, feel free to check on my videos and my past videos, and you'll be able to see them. So that's actually a very good thing, what I liked about this. So overall, I found this movie to be really good, really amazing. The animation had a really good concept to it, and there's like a great time and effort when it comes to animation. I know this was hand-drawn back then. This was still pretty good. Even though Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers were my most favorite, this one is my second most favorite. I just love how the characters acted the way they did. I like how the Scrappy, Scooby, and Shaggy were interacting with them. Even though, yes, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo were hesitant, but they eventually warmed up to the idea. So, it is no doubt that, Scooby-Doo or anything like this were to happen. Now, would they do something like this in another movie? Perhaps they might, depending on, the concept and stuff. So, this was pretty much really well done. I definitely have to say, if you're a fan of Scooby-Doo, like I said before, then you may like this movie, and I'm sure most of you guys who are fans of Scooby-Doo probably will remember, watching this as young kids. I'm sure most of us have seen it when we were young, so this is actually one of the good reasons why I like Scooby-Doo. I found Scooby-Doo to be a rather amazing and well-done show. Now, however, I'm just talking about this movie. So this movie, I definitely have to say, just like with Scooby Doo and the Meets the Boo Brothers, it doesn't have Fred, Daphne, or Velma. It's not having any of those characters in it. So that's actually one of the reasons why this is actually one of the classic Scooby Doo movies. It doesn't have, it doesn't have Fred, Velma, or Daphne in it, not like the other Scooby Doo movies do. But it kind of was disappointing to not see them in this one. Scooby Doo in the Ghoul School, well, Boo Brothers, and even the werewolf one, the Reluctant Werewolf. It's actually one of the reasons why, there was like a lot of controversy going on with Scrappy Doo. I don't know why there was a lot of, controversy with Scrappy Doo when these were made, but the controversy with Scrappy Doo goes around. And I do respect people's opinions if they like this character. And I'm going to say right now, I'm not really crazy on Scrappy Doo. I don't know why, but I just really don't really find him to be a satisfying character, as, Scooby and the other gang were. So I guess I could definitely say so. That's actually one of the reasons since why. But other than that, I do have to say Scooby Doo was actually a really good, talented dog who did all these stuff in this. So with that being said, I am going to, well, basically continue on with, more stuff. As there's not really too much to cover, but we're gonna get it on with it anyway. So, despite all of well being liked by their students, Shaggy and Scooby Doo, of course, run away in terror when the new monsters such as an alien, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and Godzilla, or even Juju enrolled their own daughters at the school for the following year. But as they leave, they see the girls in matches wave them goodbye, and Shaggy and Scooby Doo and Scrappy give them a one last werewolf howl before driving off into the night. So, what did I actually think about this movie? I actually remembered watching this a lot when I was a young kid. And I have to say, it was actually one of my favorite Scooby Doo characters in a while. So, that's actually one of the reasons why I actually adore Scooby Doo. Now, I do like the character Grimwood residents, like Miss Grimwood, who is the middle-aged head mistress of the school. She was pretty cool, I do have to say. I like her. I do like the Matches character. The Matches character was quite funny, even though it was a pet guard dog. But although though Matches was kind of, a bit of a hypocrite, not really a hypocrite, but kind of like a terrorizing dragon, it's still a really cool character, and I have to say. Sabella, I really liked her because she was the daughter of Count Dracula, and the fact that, she turns into a bat and stuff, it's actually really cool, to be completely honest. But although she's the last to go under Revolta's hypnosis spell, of course she tries to fight back. But of course, she uses her phases, vampire-related puns, says as fantastic, or you bat, referring to them as robes or bathrobes, and even some other stuff. So it's actually why I like the Sabella character. Elsa Frankenstein was actually pretty cool. How she, has a deep voice for, like from the other girls. Like she's pretty much like the one of the only, people in the group, well, in the residence of, well, the Ghoul School that has a very deep voice. It's actually pretty cool. No, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that Weenie was the daughter of the werewolf. It's actually a really cool, amazing how she, howls when she's like excited and stuff. And I like how, she's dressed and stuff. I just like her how she was like a really interesting character. Even though Weenie, yes, I probably did mention this in Hotel Transylvania, well, podcast episode, but Weenie is also the daughter of Wayne and Wanda in what is it? Oh yeah, and Hotel Transylvania. I'm sorry. I just had to point it out for those who haven't, known it already, but just thought I would know. So Phantasma, or Fanty, which is the ghost daughter, she is always pretty cool, and I actually liked her, being, an interesting character. And Tanis, also the mummy's daughter, is the smallest and the youngest of the girls, which she is pretty amazing and really well done, and she is pretty cool, and she's like very, innocent looking, and of course she's often, just so cute, and she's just a really cute character. I can definitely say right now it's pretty cool to be completely honest. So, of course, with that being said, let the Callaway Cadets people, I actually found them to be rather interesting. They're all staying, in character, even though the boys, were, using affirmative or negative when agreeing or disagreeing with particular happenings. It's still pretty interesting to say the least. Although the Cowboy Cadets I'm not that crazy on, it's still a pretty interesting thing. It's still pretty interesting that you get to see them in the movie, and that's definitely a very good something. Now, the villains of this, there's just not really that many, so I am just going to go over the main ones like Revolta, the Witch of the Web. Oh my goodness. I'm sure one of my friends actually, told me on Twitter at one point. She said that she was actually scared when it came to, Revolta. She was actually scared of her when she was younger. So I could definitely understand a lot of people were probably scared of Revolta. Now, if you're scared of Revolta or this when you were younger, please comment down below and I would like to hear what your thoughts are on that one. So, the Grim Creeper, which was an overgrown pumpkin with long vines and limbs, and even the middle of his head, he unsuccessfully tries to wand for Revolta when Matches comes near him. So, of course, with that being said, Grim Creeper, he actually looked like a pretty decent sidekick. Even though there were some other bad sidekicks that I didn't really like, he's still a pretty interesting character. Now, with the mirror monster, it only lives in one of Revolta's mirrors that could change to anyone who looks in it. He traps Shaggy inside the mirror and then he changed in Scooby, realizing he fools him to tricking that one of Revolta's slaves. But, of course, he jumps back in the mirror and setting Shaggy free. But not only that, he was still a pretty creepy and really amazing character. So, with that being said, we're just gonna say right now that, of course, the Five Ghoul Girls made a turn in the OKKKO Let's Be Heroes episode Monster Party, which was released in October 1st, 2018, and aired on television back then. Although Shaggy and Scooby Doo did not appear, they're briefly references while Rusty Taylor as Phantasma, Susan Blue as Sabella, and Pat Mestek as Elsa Frankenstein reprised their roles, while Natalie and Christian took over for Weenie and Tanis, respectively, as Marilyn Seffler had died and Patty Maloney had retired. So that's actually pretty interesting that we get to see the Ghoul Girls again in another episode, but Scooby and Shaggy were not present in it. So, of course, there is another Scooby Doo follow-up film, which is called Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, which will be a possibility that I will be doing in the future. So, with that being said, I actually found this movie to be rather good and very entertaining. It's really cute, to be honest. I really have to say, it's a really interesting concept. Now, I do have to say, Revolta, I found her very terrifying in this movie, but I still really found her to be a really interesting and really well done character. So, with that being said, what did you all think of this movie? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this movie a lot better? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments section down below. As I'm the Queen of Lions, thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so then you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next upload, my little pretties. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I'll be seeing you all in the next upload. Peace out.